different organizations and using different tools in place, from automating data collection and analysis through to chatbots and virtual assistants. Everybody's had their pain points with chatbots, I think, over time. But reducing the churn that you have from that makes it much easier in terms of working with that. Also, extracting insights from different sources as fast as you possibly can is great in terms of sentiment analysis. But again, that's passive data. It's already happened. So it's how do you validate those responses in terms of understanding that? And then synthetic data definitely has its place. But again, it's model data. So how do we work with that in terms of different validation tools? David, you have some experience of using some of these tools and different things going on. So
yeah, and maybe we can advance the slide. Yep. No, it's there are a myriad of different tools and functionalities that you could sort of take this down. I think, when it comes to chatbots and things like that, I'm sure we've all interacted with AI-driven chatbots before. Is that technology quite there? Maybe not quite there, but it's getting there. And I think as the general nature of this is really kind of the focus and how it's going to eventually evolve. I think one thing that we haven't spoken about yet, and it's something that is really important, is that how many people are really going to be able to play in the sandbox, because AI development and building tools like this is not cheap. And the compute power that you need in order to be able to develop proper AI engines and generative AI engines is extremely expensive. So that is something that is also going to evolve over time. And as we just keep going and innovating, it's going to be something that we all need to think about, because there are a handful of players who can really afford to play in this space and innovate in this space. And so how that all develops is going to be really important over time. But just going back to this, I think there's examples aplenty in terms of how one thing I've always kind of thought is it would be wonderful to be able to have a qualitative, quantitative sample. So being able to engage with more qualitative style research in a quantitative fashion is something that this technology should be able to facilitate. Perhaps even amending for data errors, or even looking at where there might be lack of data. Synthetic data can definitely help out in that equation. But I think also just using the research that we currently have, right? Like there's just a ton of insights and research and data that we have in-house. How can we more easily mine that information through proper knowledge management tools, and be able to actually execute on questions and create more sort of self-serve environments as we're working with bigger and bigger teams, and more is demanded of us at every single stop? How can we build and facilitate the access to all that research that the team has done? These kinds of tools should really help fashion that.